Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story comes from Willesden in northwest London. Special thanks to our reporter Dave Nathan, who was at the scene, and don't forget to follow him online as well at Crime Scenes London. We're going to discuss the police statements, several reports in the press, and also what friends and family have said about the victim, who has been identified as 40-year-old football coach Michael Olatunde Fadayomi, and he was known as Tunde, and he's been referred to quite fondly as Coach Tunde. He was stabbed to death in front of his son on a busy Willesden street yesterday afternoon on Thursday, April the 29th. A 42-year-old man from Willesden in the borough of Brent has since been arrested on suspicion of murder. Tunde was killed during a fight which started on top of a bus. There is a lot of footage circulating about this incident, but we will not show that footage due to the nature of it as well. We don't show people dying on the channel. We don't show graphic violence or people being severely injured. We never have done. There was an incident in the area where a rapper was injured, and we was the only blog that didn't actually show him actually injured on the floor. And we will always do that because the family and friends will see these videos on social media. And if you are recording somebody in their last moments of life, can you imagine what that would do to a relative? We send our reporters to the scene so you can see what's going on afterwards, the process of how a case is dealt with and how things are resolved. And of course, that would involve no victims being present. But I can tell you that the argument on the bus seems to just start out of nowhere. And the two men were arguing, and the older man pulled out a knife quite soon. There is several images and video footage showing him holding the knife before they exited the bus, and a fight takes place inside a fast food takeaway doorway. This was in front of school children, some of them still in school bags, and it must have been a terrifying ordeal for them to have witnessed these grown men fighting on the high road. It spilled out into the pavement after starting in the doorway of the shop, and many witnesses filmed this actually happening. They described the teenager was shouting no as his dad was stabbed, and Tunde's son desperately tried to intervene as his father was repeatedly attacked. Shortly after 5 PM on Thursday, they were called to the high road to report of a man suffering multiple injuries. Despite their best efforts, the first responders and passers-by that was helping, and one of them was a junior doctor who even stepped in to help this father and tried to save his life. Tunde's son was distraught, understandably, in the aftermath of the incident, with a member of the public trying to calm him down. A neighbour said that he died trying to save his kid. He's a football coach, he's a pillar of the community. It really breaks my heart. And when it comes to the kids seeing the violence that the adults are demonstrating, how difficult must it be for the kids not to replicate that? This man that's been arrested is in his mid-40s and he was actively carrying a knife around. Metropolitan Police DCI Claire Hines said, "Foremost in our thoughts are the victims and his family, and coming to terms with what has happened and the sudden loss and violent death. My specialist officers are working with the family to try to support them. At this early stage in the investigation, we believe the incident took place on the Route 260 bus and it continued on the high road outside a fast food shop, and there was a lot of witnesses." And this is something that people seem to forget nowadays, is that it doesn't matter how many cameras that there are, people still get angry, people still get upset, and some people just don't care in that moment who is watching. In another report from My London newspaper, they say the killer walked away calmly after attacking the dad. Witnesses said that he walked away like nothing had happened, and he just seemed like he wasn't even bothered. This was a very dangerous man, the witness said at the scene, and he needs to be taken off the streets. The witness, who spoke to My London newspaper and wanted to remain anonymous, said the argument started when the suspect accused Tunde's son and his friend of preventing the bus from moving. The bus drivers were actually changing at the time that he was accusing him of doing this. The bus then stopped outside Willesden garage, and the man just kept shouting that he needed to see his mum, and then he started accusing the boys of being the reason why the bus wasn't moving. "I was on my phone," the witness said, "and I was thinking, why is this grown man shouting at these boys? The boys were trying to calm him down, and he reached into his crotch and pulled out a blade. The boys ran off the bus, and one of them said he was going to get his dad, and the witness said the suspect came off the bus and Tunde boarded it and made his way upstairs. The witness said the dad asked him why he troubled his son, and they started shouting at each other, and then the guy pulled the knife out again and said, "I want to go and see my mum." Mobile video footage shows the two men arguing at the top deck of the bus before the dad gets off the bus, followed by the suspect. They start having a fight in the street and the man stabs the dad, the witness told the newspaper. This man has got previous history for severe mental illness, maybe not taking medication. People started screaming in the street and the dad fell to the floor. The footage was shared and it shows Tunde fighting before being fatally stabbed. Bystanders can be heard screaming while others try to intervene as the clip is circulated on social media. The witness also said that people need to find other ways to use technology and not just stand by and watch a man die. And of course, nobody can tell anybody what to do in them situations. If you've not been in that situation, it can be very scary and some people can freeze in the moment. But of course, if you wanted to, you could learn things like first aid and be able to help in them sorts of situations. Hopefully you never have to see that, but these are the sort of things that people can do to help in a situation as opposed to maybe making something worse. So I really appreciate you joining me today for this story. If you're a family member of Tunde and you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to contact us on social media, email, and myself will get back to you as soon as possible. So I really appreciate you joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.
On the other side of Willesden, I'm on Huddleston Road. This is my ID. 64A.
There's two instances in the road. No. Yeah. I know. Oh, isn't this? No one comes to help out. Who's that triple down? At least a couple of comments which I wonder so and sort of three or I think there's multiple comments. See what I do? Well, Yeah.
So yeah, so just down here, take a right again, you come out by the lights.
Running on the bag.